Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do something kind of new and kind of different for my channel. I've been getting a lot of questions on random videos asking me what my favorite foundation is, and honestly I cannot answer that question because I have so many favorite foundations that I like for so many different reasons. So a lot of my favorite foundations are actually from the drugstore, and part of the reason that they're my favorite is because they are from the drugstore. They're so easy to pick up and grab, and they are so affordable. So I decided today I'm doing a top 5 favorite drugstore foundation. I know this is kind of like a thing on YouTube to do like top 5, top 10, whatever. I have 5 favorite drugstore foundations, and I haven't tried every single drugstore foundation, but I have tried a lot. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys my top 5 favorite ones that I've tried and repurchased and just have loved for a really long time. So to tell you guys a little bit about my skin to see if you can even relate to my opinion is I have really oily skin. It's kind of like combination skin though, because it does get dry in some areas. I have a lot of redness in my skin, and I'm always trying to cover up a blemish and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes I have bumps and imperfections and pores that show through, so I'm always trying to hide those as well. So yeah, if you guys like this type of video, if you want me to like keep up with this top 5, top 10, whatever kind of thing that's going around, then let me know in the comments down below. I actually tried on and showed myself applying each foundation so you guys could see the difference and see how they look on my skin without bronzer and blush, just bare foundation. So yeah, I hope you guys like that, and I hope it helps you. Okay, so the first foundation I'm going to talk about is the Revlon Nearly Naked, and I feel like this foundation is really underrated. It came out around the time I started YouTube, I think, so like almost 3 years ago. That makes me feel old. But yeah, that's when this foundation came out, and I started using it then, and I really liked it back then. It was like my everyday foundation for a really long time, but I actually had a really hard time finding it again to find a new bottle for you guys. I checked Target and CVS and I couldn't find it there, but then I found it at Ulta, so if you guys want to check it out, I'd recommend checking your Ulta first. The reason I really like this foundation is because such a small amount goes such a long way. I have to barely use any of this, and it gives me a really good coverage. Not like full coverage that you can see the foundation on my skin, but it like evens out my skin tone immediately. Like with such a small amount, it makes my skin look super smooth and super even, which I really like. But then it doesn't look thick and cakey. It's not like super full coverage. It's kind of light and really natural looking, but it takes away all the redness in my skin, which is a really big issue for me. So I really like this for like an everyday foundation. If you are more of the type of person who likes something really natural looking and it just kind of makes it look like your skin but better, then you're really gonna like this. And the lasting power on this is pretty good. I think because I don't have to use so much foundation, it doesn't get too oily or too cakey or anything like that. So the lasting power is pretty good. It's not like the longest lasting foundation I've ever tried, but it's really natural looking. It makes my skin look really smooth, and I really like the way it looks in the mirror when I'm wearing this foundation. And yeah, just natural, normal lasting power, and you have to use barely any product to get a nice look on your face. So yeah, I really like this one, and I think it's like a great everyday foundation. I also really like the Revlon Nearly Naked powder, and I just got this half off because Revlon at Ulta was like buy one get one half off, so I was like, oh, I also really like this powder, so I'm gonna grab that too. And I am in the color Shell for the foundation and the color Light in the powder. Next up is another foundation that I feel like is kind of underrated and I don't hear talked about a lot either, and that is the Rimmel Stay Matte foundation. I also love the primer, the Rimmel Stay Matte primer. These two together are just like literally an oily girl's dream. If you are just so oily at the end of the day and you are sick of it, then I would highly recommend trying this foundation and primer because these just stay on your skin like glue. It's amazing. So this foundation is kind of different. All the other foundations I'm talking about are liquid. This one's more of like a cream base, which I actually really like because it's a lot less messy, and I have to use barely any product to get a super full coverage on this. So this is super full coverage, and it really just stays in place, and I have to use barely any product to get a really good coverage. So I really like that. You have to be careful with this one though because it can get cakey looking. So if you're going to try it for the first time, just start off with a barely little pea size amount and it will cover your whole face. And then again, if you want to add more product later, you know, test the waters and see what works for you. But for me, I have to use barely any, and it gives me a super nice full coverage that literally is locked in place all day, especially with the primer combo. that stuff is just not going anywhere, which I love. So if I'm going to like a convention all day long, something like that where I know I'm going to be taking lots of pictures, it might be hot, and I just don't want to have to worry about my foundation and my oiliness, this is my go-to foundation. It's not my favorite foundation in the mirror, like the way it makes my skin look is not my absolute favorite finish because it does look kind of thick sometimes. If it's one of those days where I just want my foundation to be staying in place all day and look matte all day, then this is my go-to foundation, and it's really amazing at that. And in this I am the color 103 True Ivory. Okay, and next up I just love this foundation. It's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. It's so amazing and it's so cheap. I think it's like $5, which is crazy. Like it says, matte and poreless. I love the way this foundation makes my skin look in the mirror. Like, I just put this on without a primer and I feel like it makes my skin look so smooth and so flawless, and I don't know, I just absolutely love it. The lasting power is not the best, so if you're going to be somewhere all day that you can't touch up your foundation, this probably won't be your go-to, but for an everyday foundation, when you have time to touch up throughout the day, this is amazing. I also really like the powder, the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. These are so amazing, so beautiful. I love these for everyday wear. And yeah, I just love the way it makes my skin look and feel. It looks really natural, really smooth. It's like a lighter liquid consistency, and I feel like a little bit of this goes a long way too. I feel like that's kind of a theme with my favorite foundations because I don't like having to apply foundation for a really long time. So if a little bit goes a long way, then it's just like a quicker process, and that's kind of what I like because I'm lazy. So yeah, this makes my skin look beautiful. I absolutely love the finish. But again, it's not the best lasting power for an oily girl like me, so that's the only downside. If you aren't as oily as me, you should give this a try. I've got a couple people hooked on this who aren't super oily and they think the lasting power is great, so if that's you, you're gonna love this, and it's so cheap and it's so beautiful, and yeah. This is just like my little baby. I love it. And in this, I am in the color 125 Nude Beige. Okay, next up is the Revlon Color Stay Foundation. I know like every girl on YouTube who has oily skin talks about this foundation, but I didn't really like it at first. Like, I think I tried this like 2 years ago and I just didn't like it because I felt like it just like made all my imperfections just shine through. Like every peach fuzz, every bump, every pore, I felt like it just kind of enhanced it. Like, yeah, it gave me full coverage, but when I looked in the mirror I was like, ugh, what is my skin? So what I have been using with it, which is not a drugstore product, but it has made me love this, is the Benefit Porefessional Primer, which just smooths out my skin. And then with this, it's like a perfect combination. I know that's like not really drugstore, but this is such a great dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, which a lot of people are obsessed with. It just like literally gives you such a good full coverage and literally stays in place all day, so it's kind of amazing for that. I've tried it in the color Golden Beige, and then right now I have in Sand Beige. I think Golden Beige is a better color for me, but Sand Beige works too. It's just like a little grayer or like beiger. I don't know. I've been using this combination a lot lately. When I was in a wedding recently, I wore this primer with this foundation, and like at the end of the night I was still taking pictures and felt like my skin looked great. This is like my go-to combo right now when I need full coverage, long lasting, and I just feel like it looks great in pictures. I know that's kind of the same thing I said about the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, but I like this combo, the way it looks in the mirror, better than the Rimmel Stay Matte. But the Rimmel Stay Matte I don't need to use the Benefit Porefessional primer with, so there's that. Like, if I just had a choice between these two foundations with no primer, I'd probably pick this one, but this one with the primer is like a little better, so I just really love them both. They both just last so long and give you such a great full coverage, so I can't really complain about either of them because sometimes that's just like all I need and all I want, and then those just answer my prayers. Okay, now last but not least is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 Foundation. The longest name ever, but I love it. I keep coming back to this one. I know everyone on YouTube talks about it, but it's worth the hype. It's such a great foundation. They say it's 3-in-1, so it's like a primer, foundation, and concealer put together. When I use this, I sometimes still use a primer just because I have a gazillion primers, but you don't really need to. And this has SPF 20 in it, which is just amazing. Any face products that have SPF in them, I automatically love them because I don't want my skin to get damaged from the sun, so anything that's trying to help me out from that, I'm just like, thank you, that's really nice of you. Seriously, this gives me such a nice coverage. It's so easy to apply. It's natural looking, but still full coverage. And the lasting power is really good. It's not like as amazing as the Color Stay and the Stay Matte, but it's really good, especially for an everyday foundation. It's just amazing. So you could use this as an everyday foundation that looks natural, but you could also build it up to make it a little bit more full coverage, and it just looks amazing. And it stays in place. So I absolutely love this. I think whatever skin type you have, you would love this. It looks really nice, stays in place, and again, looks natural but is full coverage. So I just love it, and I keep coming back to it, and I love that it has a pump because it's just less messy. I honestly make such a mess with these other ones when I have to pour them on my hand. You don't even want to know what kind of mess I had going on over here while I was filming this video for you guys. So yeah, I'm very grateful to CoverGirl for putting a pump on this, and I know I could go buy pumps for my other ones, but I don't want to, I'm too lazy. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. Again, this is just my opinion, and I haven't tried every foundation, but I have tried a lot, and these ones are the ones I just keep repurchasing that really work for me. So I thought I would, you know, combine them into one video, and you guys could see for yourself, see which ones you think look the best, see which one sounds like what you are looking for, and then you can go try it and see how it works for you. So yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, if you want me to do more top 5, top 10, whatever type of videos, let me know in the comments down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you thought it was helpful. And let me know also what your favorite drugstore foundation is, because if I haven't tried it, I'm gonna try it. Because obviously, as you can see, I'm kind of a foundation hoarder. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video for you guys. I hope you liked it. That's it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.